So to get likes on Hinge, your profile has to be shown to people. And if Hinge doesn't know who to show your profile to, then it just won't do it very often. So we're going to go over some ways to help them figure that out, along with some exact settings that you should check. But the first part of it is really just being active enough, because the algorithm is always trying to predict the likelihood of two profiles matching. And it can't do that if you don't actually tell it who you like and who you don't. So try to be on it most days and send out your likes. Secondly, once it actually has a read on who you tend to like, it's going to try to find them in your available dating pool. And you want this to be as large as possible. Because if you were to go in your settings and say that you only want somebody who's Catholic, who's white, who doesn't drink, is close by, wants a life partner, like your dating pool is going to be quite small. So Hinge is going to have a hard time showing your profile to enough people to actually get those likes. And what I found is best is to just start with age and distance as one of your filters, at least until you start getting some matches. And then you can add any of the important ones on after that point. And similar to this, when you fill out your profile details, if you happen to select prefer not to say as one of the options, you'll actually be excluded from people who have any of those options as a deal breaker, if that makes sense. So just keep that in mind. But that's really the core of getting likes on Hinge, at least from what they said, that you want to inform it of who you tend to like, and also making sure it has the capacity to actually find that person. And it's also a good why you should be more intentional with it. Like if you send likes to just anybody, it's going to have a harder time knowing who your type is. But there are some other important things to know. I know a lot of guys aren't verified already. Seems like a good idea to get it. Hinge said that selfie verified profiles go on 160%, 167% more dates than those who don't. So it makes sense. Secondly, we have a community, and inside of it, members go to hingeaudit.com. You can do this yourself. Basically, you just upload your Hinge data, then you get a breakdown of everything that's going well or isn't. And basically, I have about 37 of these reports, I think. And I tallied up a bunch of them. And on average for our members, and we have some high-performing members in there too, bringing up the average, but guys get 1 like for every 9 that they send. So it could be that you're actually doing pretty well, but you just didn't know what is actually normal for guys. Also, beyond what was already said, like it's definitely connected to your standards as well. Like Hinge wouldn't confirm this, but being superficial for a moment, if an 8 out of 10 were to only send his likes to 5 out of 10s, he's going to get a lot of likes because the likelihood of a match goes up considerably. So I wouldn't really worry too much about it. It's the same thing with those who are just obsessed about maximizing their match rate. Because like, let's just say a guy were to get 100 matches per month, which I know is crazy, but for the sake of the point, the top 20%, he's going to be much more attracted to than the bottom 20. And from my experience, if I just only send my likes to those top 20%, then they actually show up more in my feed. So what happens is my match rate goes down, my total matches go down, but I end up seeing and matching with more of the people that I want, if you're following me at all, if this makes sense. So, I mean, like if somebody just wants to maximize their match rate, they just lower their standards. You can have a super high match rate, but it's not going to be the matches that they want. And that's really what it comes down to. But anyway, I have a question. So photos and everything are obviously very important on dating apps. But in order to get good photos or have the best odds of taking good ones, you have to focus on your style. You have to focus on your haircut, on your grooming and all these things. And I'm not an expert on that topic by any means. And I'd like to find a really good resource that I can link to for when guys have questions about that stuff. And I can't really find any on YouTube. It's really hard. Like a lot of them are like guys will show off a bunch of like really nice outfits and everything. And they are nice, but a big reason why they look good is because the guy who's wearing it is just very attractive. And like the better you look, the more you can pull off. I wonder if there's more, just like less looks maxing stuff, more just stuff that guys my age would wear, or at least, my audience is like the people who watch my videos are like 25 to like 40, that range. If you know of any, I'd love to know. Otherwise, I'll speak to you again in a few days.